Hello, your call cannot be taken at the moment, so please leave your message after the tone.
What's up, everybody? Bootsy Greenwood here, and a little while ago a friend of mine asked me if I would do a follow-up to the reality transurfing series, and I thought, well, since we live in a free country for now, I figured I can go ahead and do that. So I'm happy to oblige my friends. Usually when people ask me to do something, I'm pretty happy to do it. You know, since I made that first series of videos, I've certainly learned a lot, and I've had some different experiences, and I'm happy to talk about how those principles have basically been applied and what I've seen, what's true, what's not true, or different interpretations of certain ideas in the book. I think it could be fun. So I said, what the hey, I'll do it, right? Well, recently I was reading a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a and I really, really loved it. It started out with an anecdote about Charles Bukowski. On Charles Bukowski's grave, it says, "Don't try." And I thought that was very interesting and fun and funny that the author used Bukowski in a self-help book. But you know what? It's fitting because we've gone so far in self-help that, you know, it's just spinning wheels, right? It's just mental masturbation at this point, like they say in Fight Club. And it's exhausting, right? You try and try and try and try to get somewhere and do something and be someone. And what happens? You exhaust yourself and you run out of resources, and you never really get to where it was that you wanted to go. Well, the transurfing book is really about finding the path of least resistance. Now let me say that again because I want to clarify. The path of least resistance. Not no resistance. Least resistance. Like a river, like nature. Okay? The book is all about natural law and uncovering natural law. And the author, Vadim Zeland, he takes a lot of the same ideas that are in a lot of other books and has sort of his own spin to them. He creates his own vernacular, and everything is kind of put in a certain sort of nuanced way, which I think is really cool. If you think about a river, it always does find the path of least resistance. But again, it's not no resistance. There are rocks in the river, and so the water has to go this way, that way, and flow around the rocks and go downhill, always downhill, toward the path of least resistance. It never goes uphill, but it does encounter some resistance along the way, but it does find the smoothest path. So I thought the don't try analogy was really, really cool, because I mean, who doesn't love Bukowski, you know? And really what reality transurfing is all about is not trying. It is about being and embodying who we ultimately are. The first chapter of the book is called The Rustle of the Morning Stars, which is a beautiful way to say your intuition. It's like very seductively written, easily digestible, and just a brilliant book, because I guess it was channeled, not actually, you know, like authored, but channeled through the guy. So I don't really know how that works. I guess you just like, and then it's done, which sounds pretty nice. But the first chapter, he gives a lot away. And he talks about materialism as well as idealism. Now these are two different philosophies, okay? And they're both pretty famous. Materialism is the idea that we live in a material world. And then also idealism, which is the idea that everything that we encounter and experience is really an idea. It's non-material. And what Vadim says, as much as neither one of these is true, but in fact, they're both true. Hey, who saw that coming? Duality, huh? In duality and reality. So neither one of them is entirely true. What happens in the double slit experiment is scientists are testing for the basic building blocks of reality. And they're saying, is it waves or is it particles? And there always has to be an observer in the experiment, and that observer actually dictates the outcome of the experiment. He influences, or she influences, the results of the experiment based on what their expectations are, which is crazy. So what happens in the first chapter of the book is he explains this phenomenon, and he has a dream in which he goes to this place and there's an overseer, and the overseer says, you know, this is a beautiful place that you have checked out here, and you could live here if you wanted to, but all you have to do is choose. And so that's the riddle of the book. You know, Vadim in that moment's like, yeah, whatever, pal. You know, he's like, whatever, man. You're crazy. But ultimately, he goes on this journey of exploration and discovery. By the end of the chapter, you realize the whole thing was a dream, and a dream of long ago, and now he's living his best life because he's learned how to choose. And so the whole point of the book is to learn how to choose. Which, when we think about self-help, what are we thinking about? We're thinking about manifesting. When we think about, like hustle culture and working really hard, that's what we're thinking about, you know, taking a lot of action and doing a bunch. And then you've got the whole, like, you know, law of attraction sort of visualization, you know, see everything and allow it to be, come into your reality. Well, what we're going to learn, and what, you know, he gives a great insight to in this book, is that it's all of those things. It's not just one or the other. Isn't it funny how we oftentimes like find something and we think, oh, this is it. This is the thing. Well, in reality, there's really not one thing. The way that reality works is like a hide and go seek, you know. It's not ever, we can never pin it down. And we almost always get the results that we expect to get. So if we give up on our world, if we give up on our reality and say that it's not taking care of us, then that is so. And when we decide that things are going well, and they are, then oftentimes we land on our feet. So I don't mean to jump ahead a little bit, but our expectations have a lot to do with choice. And what we're going to explore in this series is how to choose, like literally how to choose. And what that means. So right now it says like choose. Well, I choose this and nothing happens. Well, you don't understand necessarily yet how to choose and what the obstacles are in the way of choice, okay? Ultimately, we do have free will, but there's also a paradox there as well, because there are deterministic factors that are also influencing the situation that we exist in, okay? So here we are in this moment, and yes, I can choose in this moment. But a lot of the factors and where I am in reality have been influenced in the past, and that leads up to now. And so now here I am sort of trapped in this spot that I'm in, and within this spot that I'm in, based on a lot of different variables, now here I am standing, and now I can choose. Like I can jump now, or I can stand still, or I can twiddle my nose, or whatever. But I'm standing here, right? So they're both true. We do have free will, and we need to learn how to use it. And that's the problem, is that we haven't learned how to use our free will within the sort of predetermined sort of script that's overarching around us. So that's what we're going to explore in this series. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I have a lot of links in the description box below. Please check me out on the alternative platforms. I'm very happy to have an amazing partner in Content Safe, and they are making sure that my content is redistributed across multiple platforms. I also have a Facebook group that you're welcome to come and join. As long as you follow the rules, you know, it's fine, you know, and come on in and check that out. It's the #GetCoached Facebook group. That link is also in the description, as well as I have a free ebook myself that if you'd like to have it, it peeks a little bit into this stuff in a very short amount of time and helps you to find your purpose in life. So if that's something that you're interested in, click on bootsygreenwood.com. Put your name in that little email bar and you will get a free ebook. There's also free audio books and several other free resources on the store page. Folks, that is going to do it for this episode, and we will see y'all next time. Uh-oh! Look who it is! Who's got 2 thumbs and is this guy? Hey, it's this guy! Hey! 2.